In this video, we're going to build a meeting prep AI agent that is going to help you with all of your first time meetings. Imagine you're an SDR or you're a sales executive, and right before every meeting, you go through the attendees list, you open them up in multiple tabs, you go through their LinkedIn, their Facebook, Instagram, their Wikipedia, or their company's page and whatnot to do their research. And it takes you roughly 15 minutes per person to do that. Well, today's AI agent literally does that for you, except that it does it in less than 30 seconds. And it can do it for virtually an infinite number of attendees. All right, so this is our meeting prep AI, and I've got a locally deployed version of n10.io on which I've built all of this. It's fairly simple, and it's something that I've built in less than roughly an hour, and you should be able to do this too. So let's just see what it does first, and then we'll go deep into the details of how we can do this. All right, so I'll just delete this and test the workflow. Number one, it fetches the events from my calendar. Number two, it goes to OpenAI and creates a search query for the person so that it can search that person on LinkedIn. Number three, it goes to Apify people search and finds the user's LinkedIn URL from the search term. Number four, it next goes to the user profile details. So this is think of it as scraping the LinkedIn public profile of any person. And finally, it creates the research summary of the user. And in the end, it should send us an email of whatever that summary is. So yeah, as soon as the step is done, the email is sent. And if I go to my email, I should have received, so this is my email. So he's one of our customers. So hey, Duncan, if you're seeing this. So you see the name, location, followers in LinkedIn headline. You see their character highlights and achievements, which can be used as talking points. You see their educational background. You see their skills and expertise, and you see the conversation starters, which I feel are the most important part of this, right? So for example, discuss his approach and insights from the post on Bayesian marketing mix model and its challenges. Our AI agent actually looked at his recent interactions and his posts and found out that he was interested in Bayesian marketing mix modeling techniques. So that could be a very good conversation starter, something that he's interested in and something that he's interacted with recently. Inquire about his experience of being a director, experience of his role at Mel Collective, being a founding member, and of course, like developing influencer marketing analytics. Something like this is really non-obvious if you do a 3 to 5 minute search on LinkedIn. So that's why I think it is a good value add for anybody who's looking to just have a conversation with them. And I think you can go through this in roughly a couple of minutes. And at this point, you have a fairly good idea of distilled information coming from the customer's LinkedIn profile. So this agent only does LinkedIn profile for now, but it is super easy to extend this to multiple data sources like wiki pages or their Instagram or their own website or their company's website, or if they have a personal brand or a blog or anything. So we can extend this to research on those lines as well. All right. So that was it for the demo. Now that we've seen the demo, let's just get into the nuts and bolts of this. The nodes that you're seeing right now, the ones in this line, are all that were covered in the last episodes, except for these two, the Apify API requests. I will go into a lot of detail of what Apify is and how we can integrate that into our workflows. But let's just do it one by one. So to start with, we've got a very simple trigger of clicking test workflow. This is a button right here. So this is a Google Calendar node. It's super simple to pull up from here. So Google Calendar, if you click here, what we're looking for many events. I click on this and I'll get a blank Google Calendar node. And what I can do from here is configure it to fetch the event. So let's just go into this and see what we're doing. So we need the resource event and we need to get all of the events from the list. So I've got multiple calendars over here. I just want a specific calendar and I just want one event to demo this. So I think this works for me right now. If I test this step, it goes to the Google API and gives me this event as an output. This is a confirmed event. This is the HTML link, the summary, and this is the creator. That's me. And I'm the organizer as well. Start time, end time. And we will also have the attendees here. So this is one of our attendees on which we are doing the research. And this is what we'll use in the next steps. So now that we have the first node in which we're fetching the event from Google Calendar, we are passing it on to the next node, which is an OpenAI node, which we've used multiple times before. you can pull up an OpenAI agent from here. You click on OpenAI, you click on this, and you just need to select messenger model, and it will just pull up this node. Just do this, right? So this is a message model node, exactly the same as this one. And let's just see how we've configured it to create a search query for us. So if I open this up, I've already connected my credentials. I want to send OpenAI a text input, and I want to receive a text output from them. The operation that I need to do is definitely I need to message the model and get output from the model. I'm using GPT-4o mini as the model because this is not a very difficult problem to solve. So I just simply need that given an email address for a person, its job is to segregate the person name and the company name from the email address to form a Google search query. And I will use this Google search query in the following format. So person name space company name. So this is basically what a human does as well, right? So let's say if you've got a prospect who has an email ID, you would write their full name, space, their company name, and then just try to find them on LinkedIn, right? And that is what we will do over here as well. And there are two messages that we're sending to GPT-4o over here. The first one is a system message. The system message tells the model what is expected out of it. And the next one is a user message. This is basically a follow-up text from us. So think of it this way, that if I go to OpenAI ChatGPT, when I write like you are an expert sales executive, this is a system message. And then I can just write, tell me the best way to research a prospect. And this is the user message. So this is basically what we're doing in that specific node. So this is the second message, which is a user message, just like I showed you. And we want the text for this to be the email address from the previous node, right? And it's fairly simple to pull that up from the previous node. We've got the previous node fetch event over here. And if we scroll down, we see I am the creator, I'm the organizer, start time, end time, and then attendees, right? So the first attendee is Duncan, and I'll just pull his email from here. You can simply drag and drop his email from here, and you'll see it on the right. And that is exactly what I did. You can also see that it shows you the result over here. So based off of this formula, this is the result that will get passed to this OpenAI node. And the rest of the settings are pretty standard. I've not tweaked any of these. And yeah, I can just click on this, test this step, and see if OpenAI gives me the right output. So it got this email as the input. This is what I got as an output from GPT-4o mini. And the content is Duncan, DS Analytics. So based on his email, so it basically broke down his email into his name and his company's name. So that's what we really wanted. And this is what we'll be using in the next step. So yeah, and this is the second node that we have here. And so now that we have the person's name and their company name as well, the next thing to do is to jump to Apify. And now we're going to do a small segue and just take a look at what Apify is. All right, let's just go to apify.com. This is a platform that helps you easily scrape a lot of websites, and people just come here and put out their actors or their crawlers, and you can just rent them. You can just use them on demand and pay for only the usage. So if I go to the console in Apify, you can just sign up. You can use your free $5 of credit here to build your thing. And then you can just add your credit card in later if you want to use those further as well. This is the Apify store. And these are all of the actors that the community has built, that the people have built, and you can just use them as you want and then get the requisite data that you want. I have picked two actors from here. The first actor helps me search a person's LinkedIn URL from a given search query. So just like we did it in the last step, we did Duncan space DS Analytics. We used that as a search query, and I want the person's LinkedIn URL. Yeah, and I tried a few actors for that. And the one that really worked for me was this LinkedIn profile URL finder. Okay, so this is the detail page of this LinkedIn people URL mass profile finder. And let's just try it out and see what is the kind of result that it gives us. So we give it the same query that we got from the OpenAI node earlier, and we run it in the people names. I just go here, click on start, and in a bit, this should start a run for me and then give me the result in the form of a JSON or a table. In a few moments, I should get some of the results. Yeah, okay, here we have the results. And you see rank number 1, we got Duncan Stoddard, DS Analytics on LinkedIn. And if we click on this, this will take us to the LinkedIn profile of the prospect in question. So yeah, this is who we're looking at right now. So yeah, this basically helps us find the URL. And if I run the same thing on our meeting prep AI, this is our meeting prep AI. I run the same step. I put in the input. So this is the JSON. One thing before I tell you how to structure this body is that once you have selected an actor, for example, this actor, and you want to replicate this into your n8n node, just go here to the API dropdown, click on API endpoints. And what we want it to do is to run the actor synchronously and get the dataset items. So we want to give it a request, give it the parameters, and get the response data in return as well. And all you need to do for that is just copy this whole thing from this copy button. You can copy this from here. And this is the post request URL. And this is the body of the query that is going to go in the API call. So these are the two things that you need, and that's it. So if I were to replicate this in here, all I would do is create an HTTP request, paste the URL over here, the one that I copied from Appify, go down, send body, copy this, paste this in here in the JSON using JSON. And if I test this step, it will do exactly the same thing that it was doing on the Appify detail page. So yeah, this is how I can quickly replicate the behavior that I was seeing on the actor detail page, and I can just do it for myself as well. So yeah, if I were to do this, I just wanted the rank number 1. And if I remove that from the JSON body, it will just give me the first result. And that is all I want. I don't want to get the details of 10 other people. I just want details for one person, and that is what I got. And that is exactly what I wanted. So yeah, this is basically how you would create a node like this. I think this is the extra one. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is the extra one, right? So we just delete this. This is the one. So this is the first node and that we have interfaced with Appify with. Now that we have the user's LinkedIn URL, the next step is to go to the LinkedIn profile, just like a human would, and try to understand what all of their profile is, what are the posts that they've done, what is the thing that they're interacting with, so that we can find out their talking points, their conversation starters, and things that they're interested in. And we'll do exactly the same thing with Appify now, once more. We go to actors. I particularly found this actor really good, and you can click on this, you can give it the LinkedIn URL, and it will scrape the user's profile for you. So let's just go here and copy the URL. So let's say if I copy this URL from here, I copy this and I go to LinkedIn data scraper, I paste this in this second actor, and I click on let's just try and rent actor. Oh, I've exhausted the limit, but it is still accessible in my API. So basically, if you were to do the same thing over here, you would get the response on the right. And all you need to replicate this is just again do the same thing. Go to API endpoints, scroll down, run actor synchronously and get dataset items. Copy this endpoint, paste it here in the URL, and give it the body link and the LinkedIn URL from the previous node, right? So we had in the previous node, we had the LinkedIn URL of the user as an output, and we need to just pull it from the previous node. This is the LinkedIn URL that we're seeing. I need to send it in the link parameter. So yeah, if I hover over this, you can see that I am fetching this variable from the previous node, and it is rendering like this in this node. So yeah, if I test this step, now this node will go to Appify, use that actor, give it the LinkedIn URL, and try to fetch their whole LinkedIn profile for us. And in that LinkedIn profile, you'll see we'll have things like their experience, their previous reactions and whatnot. So yeah, let's just try and expand on this. You see, like we've got everything about them on LinkedIn. We've got their headline, followers, address, country, their updates, what are they talking about recently, some images. We've got their helping clients use data statistics, machine learning to make better decisions, expert in Bayesian modeling, simulation, and whatnot. So this is the whole data that we got from this actor. We would also have these things like organization publications or patents if Duncan had those in his profile. But yeah, this is all of the data that we got from this actor, and we can simply just feed this in to an OpenAI call again and ask it to create a summary for us. And how do we do that? By simply just adding one more OpenAI node. And this is the specific node that I'm talking about. So once we have the JSON output from the previous node where we've got, so this is our previous node, API profile details. This is the whole data that we got from the previous one. Let's just a minute. Let's just try and see it in the table. Yeah. These are all of our previous nodes, and this is the one node back. So this is all of the data that we have. Now our job is to create a summary of the talking points and everything for them, for the user, that we can just email to them. So, and it is, I think at this point, you guys would probably know how to do this because we've already done this in the previous node. So yeah, we create another system message. You're an expert sales executive with 15 years of experience. I will give you the LinkedIn details of a person, and your job is to go through it and give me a summary that can help me prepare for a first meeting with him. You should include things like conversation starters, their achievements, and highlights of their career. If you want specific stuff in this, for example, if you want to see their most recent job, or you want to see their most notable job in here, or you want to see what is the one thing that they're really passionate about, you can add those in over here as well, and it will give those to you in the email as well. Make sure you don't miss anything that can be used as a conversation starter. I added this because if I wouldn't mention this, it'd miss some of the points which could be conversation starters, like the Bayesian modeling, for example. And finally, make sure you return the output in HTML format, which can be directly sent in an email. Do not include the backticks and HTML markdown tag in the response. So while iterating over the prompt, this was something which was causing an issue. In the emails, I was seeing backticks and HTML in the top. So yeah, you just need to tell the 4o model to not give you those, so that you can just use the same content and send it to an email, send it in an email in HTML format. You'll see that the sections will have their headings. You'll see the person's image as well, and you'll see if you've got bullet points and whatnot. So this is the system message. And in the second part, we've got this thing, like their whole profile data. We just drag and drop the profile data from here to here. So this is, yeah, so it's something like this. It's nearly the same thing. I've used this to be more declarative, but yeah, you can basically just copy. I mean, like we can just do it right now. So let's just do this. So I copy the whole data from here. This is an object. One thing that you need to do is .to JSON string, so that it is a string. It is not an object. And this is the second message, and that's it. At this point, if you test this step, it will get all of this information from the previous node and try to convert that into HTML content that can be sent as an email to prepare to as meeting preparation notes. So at any moment now, we will get the email preparation notes in HTML format, and then all that is left after that is to just send a Gmail email. So yeah, this is the response that we got. Let's just do it in JSON. We could do schema as well. So yeah, this is the response that we got, and you see in the message, role assistant, and content, we got the whole content over here. We can we'll literally use this as is and send it as an email to the user and see how this looks. So yeah, this is it for this node. At this node, we've created the research summary, and it is ready to send out as an email. And how do we send an email? We've done it in previous episodes as well when we were doing the competitor research. So you just create a Gmail node. You select the resource message, operation send, and you send it to an email address. with the subject that you want. The email type is HTML because we chose to send HTML content to the user. And what is the content that we need? So let's just see here. One note back, we've got the GPT-4o, which was creating the HTML content for us. And all we need to do from here is we click on content, we drag it from here, paste it here, test this step. And yeah, this node has succeeded and I should have received an email. Let me refresh this. Yeah, at 10:35 right now, I just got this email, right? So you got the name, the location. You can go to the LinkedIn profile as well, their image, conversation starters, career highlights, achievements and skills, and anything that you want to even add in other than this, you can do that. So yeah, this is basically our AI agent, which can do meeting preparation for you in less than 30 seconds. It can do it for virtually any number of guests. So if you got 5 people in the meeting and you're meeting them for the first time at an enterprise or at an SME, you can just have the same agent extend and do this for multiple people. I think this is what I could do in roughly less than an hour. If I were to build this out as a full-fledged meeting preparation AI agent, I would add other sources like Wikipedia or their company website or their social media pages or their personal websites or blog posts that they've written and whatnot. And yeah, maybe in one of the future episodes, we could probably extend this. But for now, I think this AI agent can at least help you save 10 minutes of your time and just distill all of that information for you in an email and get you to prepare better for your meetings. So yeah, let me know if you've been following along up until now and and if you've been able to build this as well. And if you have any questions or you're seeing any issues, feel free to drop them down in the comments below and I'd be happy to answer them. And also tell me, what do you want me to build next? What is the domain that you would want me to build an AI agent in, which could help you save a lot of time? With that, thank you so much for watching this episode, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.